Hello friends, it's Shari here today and I'm going to be making a spring card. Today I am helping my friend Jessica celebrate 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so stay tuned to the end of this video for a little more information on that. I'm going to be making this fun spring card and I'm using some stamps that I've had for a little while and haven't gotten to use. These stamps are from Holly Pixels Studio. She is a artist I follow on Instagram, and she has a couple of stamp sets available on her website that are these cute little images. I love the set with these rabbits. I just think they are so cute. I also have a set that is bumblebee themed, and I just think it is adorable as well. Today I'm stamping my images in some black licorice ink. I usually stamp in jet black because I usually do Copic coloring. Today I'm going to do something a little different and I'm going to color with some colored pencils. Today I am using my Prismacolor pencils. I also have polychromos, but these Prismacolor pencils I've had since college, so they are tried and true and I've had them for a very long time. I'm going to go ahead and color all my images with my pencils, and then I will go back with some Gamsol and blend them out. You get a nice soft blend between the colors when you use the Gamsol. You can still leave this without the Gamsol and still get a really nice colored image. It just adds that extra level of smoothness. So the tip I have for colored pencils, and I am no expert colored pencil colorist, is to go light and build up. It is much easier to add more to colored pencils than it is to take it away. So if you put it too dark and too thick to begin with and you can't blend your colors together, it's really hard to take it away. Now, that being said, at the end of all this coloring, you are going to see me break out an eraser and get rid of some blue on that little sheep that's up at the top right corner and then recolor on top of it because I had colored a color too light and I could not get the darker color to color on top of it. So I am just going to stop talking, play a little bit of music, and you can watch all this coloring. If you don't want to watch all this coloring, you can skip ahead to the assembly of the card. So now that all my images are colored, I'm going to use Gamsol to blend that out. Gamsol is a odorless mineral spirits, and I use blending stumps to blend that out. This is just a paper stump. I have a bottle here that has a little stopper, so it makes it easy to soak some of that into the end. But you can get a bottle of it just at the craft store or the art store. I like to take that and refill my bottle with the stopper constantly. I have a bunch of blending stumps. I have them for different colors so that I don't have to try and sand the color off. To me, this is just easier. So I have one for blues and I have one for yellows, and that's why I have so many off to the side there. And I just use the proper color for whichever pencil I'm blending. What Gamsol does is it breaks down the wax of the pencil and blends the pigments together much more smoothly. In tiny little spaces, it doesn't really make much of a difference and it's hard to see, but I just blended everything. And then these stamps, because they are from Holly Pixels, which is just an artist that has stamps on her website, not a big stamp company, she does not have dies. And so I am going to fussy cut these out with a little bit of a white border around it as if I used a die. Now I could cut right on the line, which I thought about doing, but the reason why I'm leaving the white is so I can cut out those delicate flowers as well, because you can't really cut right on the line with the stems of those flowers. Now to work on the background elements of my card, I'm using the Lawn Fawn Sunburst backdrop die. I've cut it from sunflower cardstock, but then I'm going to cut it again with the largest outside in stitch rectangle, so I have that nice stitching detail around the sides, and it's also going to be slightly smaller than my A2 size card base. This die cuts those stitching lines for the sun rays as well as some score lines, which I know are kind of hard to see here on camera, but to me those score lines are the perfect guide to mask off these sun rays and do some inking. So I've put some post-it note tape along those score lines, and I'm just going to ink up every other sun ray here with some carrot ink. So you're going to get this nice back and forth of light and dark stripes of this sunburst, and it's really going to make that background have more depth and stand out. So I'm just going to pull up that post-it note tape each time, move it over, and then, like I said, I'm inking up every other one. So when you pull this off, you're going to see the look that we're going for. So every other one is going to be darker. And I'm not going to worry about going all the way around because I'm going to put some grass along the bottom. So I'm just making sure that I go down to the corner enough to where it's going to hide behind the grass that I'm going to put at the bottom of my little scene with my little bunnies. Now that I have my background finished, I'm going to assemble this onto my card. I've cut that center that is the sunshine out of some sticky note cardstock, so it's going to be a different color yellow. I have a card base made from some craft cardstock there, and I'm just putting adhesive all over this background, and I'm going to put it onto that card base, and you can see that craft peeks out from behind that stitch rectangle. I'm using a piece of green watercolor wishes paper, and I've cut that grassy hillside, and I'm just figuring out where I want it. I want that sun to kind of tuck behind that grass. My sentiment's going to fit in the middle, so I'm just checking that. And then what I'm going to do is draw a pencil line along the bottom, and this is going to tell me where to trim my piece of pattern paper so that my grass is the right height. So I'll just take my paper trimmer, line that up with my pencil line, and then my grass will be cut to the perfect height to fit where I want it to fit. This grass, you could cut that stitching detail, but I kind of wanted it to go past that. So it's going to go in front of all this sunburst. You can see that's also why I didn't ink the bottom. So I'm going to stamp this sentiment onto that sunshine before I glue it down into that hole, just in case I mess up my stamping. And this sentiment is also from that Holly Pixels stamp set. I just like the fonts of it. I think they're so much fun. So I've glued my sunshine into the hole. Now I can glue down my grass. And then I can start to add my images that I colored earlier. So I'm popping these cute little rabbits up on some foam squares. And I'm just arranging them around that sunshine to flank that sentiment on each side. I'm going to put my little lamb down here towards the front on some foam squares as well. And then I felt like he was kind of down there by himself, so I'm actually going to pop up the rabbit, pop it off, and kind of move her down a little bit to fill in that grassy area towards the bottom. And then for the flowers, I'm just going to glue them directly to the card base. And then finally, to finish it off, I have some iridescent clear sequins. I have them in 2 sizes, and I've just placed them around. It adds some fun shimmer. I'm just adding some glue and sticking them back down. And then here is my finished spring card. I'm so glad I got to use these stamps finally, and I just think it is so adorable. So I will add a link in the description below so you can check out these cute spring bunnies from Holly Pixel Studios. This video I made to help Jess celebrate her 10,000 subscribers, so please hop along, subscribe to everybody's YouTube channel, and be sure to leave comments because she has a lot of prizes from all the sponsors. So be sure to check that out and check out the details. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye!